Thanks everybody for joining this slot. My name is Roberto Pulice. I'm head of digital service for Southeast Africa. So the case we will talk today is about automated operation, is about the transformation, digital transformation that we did in Safaricom on the network operations side. We started the journey a couple of years ago. As Ericsson, we manage the overall program. We have our own solution there, and we integrated the solution of our partner HP for the fault management, MyCom for the performance management, and the TIMCO for the workforce management. Now we are continuing the journey. Pramod will provide all the details. Okay. Let me just start up the session with some, soft slides from Ericsson perspective. So Safaricom is leading a customer in Kenya. 70% of market share is definitely among my area. Is definitely a shining customer. They have ARPU of $8, which is for our area. It's most of the telco have $2, so it's a different situation. And for this reason, we could really develop this program. Pramod definitely will provide much more details about Safaricom and the cases. For Ericsson perspective, just a few words about digital transformation. We see opportunity for digital transformation everywhere in the telco environment. On the redefining the business model and the ecosystem to develop new business opportunity. We see that the operator are trying to consistently interact with the customer and the partner in a much better way than before on digital. The operation, and this is the case of Safaricom, should be much more effective, both in terms of time to market to increase the automatization, and also in terms of cost effectiveness. They are trying to use much more data for the support of the operation, also the business. And they are trying to have an infrastructure on the network side much more programmable and flexible to support the increase of the demand, to be more scale up, down, and up, depending on the workload. So the opportunities are there. I mean, yesterday, by the way, I was reading a report done by one of these big consulting companies. Digitalization is a way to deliver cost effectiveness, cost reduction, is a way for the telco to survive. To survive or not to survive. That's a bit, of course, black and white. Each of us has his own view, but definitely is a way to be competitive. So it's a must. In terms of Ericsson, we are supporting our customer on three different engagement. One is about digital, what we call digital engagement, transform and digitalize the front-end solution to interact better with the customer and partners and to increase the revenue. The second one is about automated operation. This is, of course, the case that we are presenting today, to make the automation much more faster, increasing the automatization and reducing costs. And then the third one is about, of course, virtualization, to virtualize the network, especially from my perspective, the core, to make it more agile and to support better the increase of the demand of the traffic. As Ericsson, we have a digital service portfolio, which is I'm leading in this Southeast Africa. The digital service portfolio for us is, let me put it this way, everything which is not a pure network, and include the BSS, OSS, core, packet core, and cloud. So we have, I will not, of course, enter details. We have an end-to-end portfolio on this. We are helping several leading operators on this digitalization journey. Safaricom is one example on the network operation side. And the portfolio has been modernized to fully support the roadmap to 5G. So today, for the Safaricom case, we leverage, of course, we use, of course, the OSS component of our portfolio, and specifically on this program, we use our network inventory solution. Okay, this just a quick view of how Ericsson is facing the digitalization. I will let now Pramod give us the details about the program that we are doing there, we're still doing, and then we are open for questions. Okay, please. Thanks.
Thank you, Roberto. So good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Pramod. I'm representing Safaricom, the home for M-Pesa. And at Safaricom, I think our purpose is transforming lives. And we have been transforming through M-Pesa. M-Pesa is a great example to testimony that. Operational excellence and customer satisfaction and customer experience enhancement is one of our, and in fact, the key strategic pillars at Safaricom. And that is how we kind of thought of this program. That time, maybe digital word was not there, so maybe we have not thought of it. But it was an operational transformation, and we had a clear vision of a NOC, which is mainly the key center and command and control center of any operations for all the services. And we thought of our NOC should be what? And the group of teams, we came together again with the key pain areas, and we came up with what are the operational challenges, what are the issues that we are facing, how can we, and what is that we can look at. And we came up with these three key things that we want to have an cognitive and predictive NOC. What does that mean? We want to move from reactive to proactive to predictive, and that is what we are trying to achieve. And as Roberto said, we came up with three partners, and Ericsson has helped us primarily, and they are the key primary partner and interface for us. And then we worked with HP for the umbrella fault management system, and then we are also working with MyCom OSI for the umbrella performance management system. So far, that is the journey, and as we learned and we were discussing in the morning keynote, that transformation is not a project. Transformation is a journey, and this journey we have taken and we have started from last 3 years. We have done a lot of progress, and I can share what we have done, what is our status as of now, and where are we, and what is our plan. Highly automated, we want to have all the processes to be robotized. We want to implement robotic process automation, and then bring in more enhanced customer experience with all big data analytics, reading all the data inputs from the network, from the performance, from the CEM, all the touch points that we have. Yeah, that's the vision, and that's the target that we are aiming for. Now, what is our journey? Where are we? We have moved, and we have come a long way. We have moved from the typical element management system or element management center to a network management center, and from a network management center to an NOC. And now we aspire to move from NOC to SOC, which is service operations and service-oriented operation center. You can see the operational efficiency, service complexity, and vendor dependency. And that is what was the key driver for this program. Like we spoke, and we were part of the discussions where we understood the new virtualized networks, virtualized technologies, and the transformation that we are trying to achieve is morely available for NFV, SDN kind of networks, and it can talk to the networks or the systems which can handle layer 3, layer 4 to some extent. But there was a big challenge, and we were just, again, there was a point said, like a greenfield project like Geo or a legacy. This is a classic example how and what we are trying to do to handle the legacy vis-a-vis with the new greenfield, whatever it's coming as a new thing, and we are doing it parallelly. So that is where we are, and what does that mean is, this is our overall architecture, and you can see we are talking about processes. We are talking about three things primarily, that is people, process, and tools or technology. Yeah. So I'm not going to touch much on people and process because that's a parallel thing that we are working on. These are three key streams that we are working on. But here the focus is on the the technology part and the tools part. And as I was mentioning, we have completed the phase 1. The phase 1 is integration of all the element management systems, integration of all the performance. So we have got an umbrella fault management system, we have got an umbrella performance management system, then an umbrella inventory management system and a workflow. So the focus here is on the legacy devices. So we have Granite, which is from Ericsson, which is taking care of the all inventory for radio, core, packet core, backbone, transmission, home, and mobility. Then we have the topology manager, the other things, that is what we are in a phase of implementation, which is a phase 2, which is ongoing project. So as you can see, we are also bringing in a consolidated dashboard, which is kind of an user or a customer dashboard or an executive dashboard. So there are multiple things that we will be doing it with that, where your executive will be able to see what is the health of the network, what is the status of the network. At the same time, your customer care will be able to see how is your network behaving in particular area, what are the performances, what are the key KPIs, KQIs for the services, key parameters, uptime, the status of the network, whether it is a site or a FTTH or whatnot. Yeah. I don't have to talk about what are the business drivers. I think we have been speaking about it since morning, and that is why we all are here. Business drivers were very, very clear. We want to have enhanced customer experience, better service quality, and operational efficiency. Yeah. What we have achieved so far, as I was telling you, now earlier it was multiple systems with different EMS, NMSs, multiple separate desks handling those legacy systems. Now it is one window, all alarms coming together with a lot of enrichment, thanks to HP TMIP, with a lot of inputs and things that like spreadsheet that we used to use is coming together in one alarm screen, wherein, for example, if I have to give an example of a site, this site belongs to which region, which area, who is the field engineer, who is the MSP partner, the managed service partner, what type of infrastructure that site has, does it have a power or battery bank or generator, all of that information, and who is the contact person. Whenever there is an alarm coming from that site, it comes automatically with that information. And not only that, we also do an trouble ticketing, which is again an automatic trouble ticketing. Basis the correlations that we have done so far. We have done alarm correlation, so event-based correlation, and then time-based correlation. With the inventory coming in, we will be now going to do the topological correlations, and then further we will do the network impact analysis and service impact analysis. That's what we are trying to do. So we have moved from a manual ticketing to an automated ticketing, which again a field engineer gets an automated notification of SMS and email to him with all the details of the fault and the summary of the alarms, and an input what is the possible fault, what he is supposed to do. Then we did a lot of filtering of alarms, which is like mainly you can focus on the key actionable alarms rather than looking into multiple alarms. I'm sure you must have seen many engineers and many desks on the screens. People's screen is always full of alarms, and they don't sometimes know which alarm to pick and which not. So with this filtering, we have enabled and we have empowered NOC so that they can focus on the actual faults rather than the other relevant alarms. We spoke about the critical event notification also. That is what we are able to do. What does it mean in terms of the KPIs? The key KPIs for the NOC is MTTR, mean time to repair, mean time to detect, and then first line resolution. With the simplification of the tools and systems, what we are trying to do is, and what we have achieved so far is, for radio failures, our MTTD, mean time to detect, has reduced from 15 minutes to 4 minutes now. So within 4 minutes, if there is a fault, everything gets processed, an email and SMS goes to the field engineer relevantly. That's what about the mean time to detect. The MTTR also has reduced year on year from 16 to 17 by 23% for major and critical faults. And then definitely it is a better work-life balance and better engaged resources because they're not stressed. they can easily focus on the actual actionable alarms rather than looking into the flood of alarms. What is our journey? So far we have been able to achieve and do auto ticketing, and that's where you can see in the bottom the flow of the alarm. It's flood in the beginning with the processing, with the way, the smart handling, the correlations. We have tried to reduce it, and the way the automation maturity will go up, the number of alarms will go down. And that's the whole idea. And that will enable us for the next level of simplified operations, simplified NOC, and better control. So as we speak, we are talking about runbook automations, wherein the simple steps of remote remedial repetitive tasks are getting automated through scripts and through automation. And then as the new buzzword is orchestration, and that's what we are trying to now move, so that we have standard way of doing things, we have standardized the operations, which will enable us and which is an easy step for us to move to orchestration, then RPA and cognitive. So as we speak, we have done the phase 1, which I just explained. Now phase 2 is what we are trying to do, and we are trying to bring in the topological correlations, we are trying to bring in the service impact analysis, network impact analysis, and we are trying to bring in the cross-domain correlation, which is a very important point. Today, there are faults and there are silo operations. The radio guy doesn't know what is happening in core or the transmission, or the access transmission doesn't know what is happening in core or backbone network. So with this simplified architecture and simplified way of working, we're trying to bring in those correlations, the cross-domain correlations, wherein anyone touching the network, what is the impact, how many sites are down, not only that, which is straightforward today, but what is the impact to the customers? What were the number of average customers on this site yesterday, day before yesterday, last week same day, at the same hour? So that will give a better, weightage to the fault, and the prioritization of the faults will happen better. If there are 10 sites down, which one I should pick first? So that will enable the NOC engineer to pick the right site for action, so that the prioritization to the right site bases the impact to the customer, revenue, all of that, and which will again contribute to enhance the customer experience. Any questions? That's it. That's what I had to share. And in Kenya, we call it as Tawaweza, and it means when we come together, great things happen, and when we come together, we inspire generation. Thank you.
Great to be with you.